decided that I was going to make some soup so that we can just have soup and sandwiches for the next week because it is so hot. I don't want to do any cooking if I don't have to, other than, you know, just heating up some soup and making a sandwich. So we're not going to have any relief from this heat wave for a while. So it's froze. So I'm going to make soup. Now I just cleaned out a bunch of stuff out of the freezer, and I've got some fresh veggies, some frozen veggies, some stuff that needs to be used up, stuff that's I just wanted to add to it. There really is no certain name for this soup. It's just, you know, put it together and it's good. And my grandbabies love it when I make soup with all different kinds of veggies in it. So I'm just going to let that, I got that burner on. I'm going to put the lid on that. And I'm just going to let that cook down. There. It's thawing out and cooking down pretty good. And I got a little bit of sausage in here just to give it some extra flavor. Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to cut up some of my veggies and get them ready for the soup. You can make soup out of anything. I can't tell you how many times I have just opened up my freezer and my fridge and just threw stuff on the counter and made a pot of soup. Sometimes I put meat in it, sometimes I don't. But it's always loaded with vegetables. It just depends on what I feel like the day I'm making it. Okay, I got my burger and my sausage all cooked, and I drained it. So I'm ready to put a bunch of my, I'm going to need a bigger pan. Okay, watch how I do this. I'm going to put this in this pan here, because I'm making a big bunch of it. I always do that. Do you ever do that? You start out with, oh, I'm just going to make a little bit, and you wind up with a big old pan of it. I'm not worried about it because none of it will go to waste. It will all be eaten just fine. Okay, so let me turn my burner back on, and I'm going to put all this in here. That is my potatoes, my cabbage, and my onions, and my celery. I got some corn here that was in the freezer I need to get used up. That's going to go in there. A little bit of sweet corn. And I got some peas that I've got a little bit left. You know, a lot of times I dehydrate these, but my dehydrator's been going full blast. So I'm just going to put them in the soup. Okay, now all I'm going to do is I'm going to saute this up with this meat a little bit before I add my broth. I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in there. Oh, because that's good. Got to put a little more in there. I don't measure anything, but it will be good. I'm going to put some parsley in there. That'll be good too. I need some salt in here, not too much because my sausage is fairly salty. And we're going to do some cracked pepper. There we go. Now you know I'm going to have to add more pepper because that's just what we like. Alright, I'm also going to put a bunch of garlic in here. I'm going to put about a good tablespoon and a half. This is a half tablespoon I'm using, so that'll be good. Get that all mixed up. I don't think you can see that. We got to get you up here so you can see that. Now you can see it. See how good that looks? Get that sauteed up a little bit. My grandmother always taught me, saute your veggies before you do your soup because it will make them just taste so much better. So there we have it. We're just going to let those cook a little bit. I'm going to also, let's see, where's my knife? I love broccoli and cauliflower, so that's going in there. And then I'm going to put some of my frozen peppers in there. I'm just going to dump them right in. Beautiful, look at that. Like I always tell, I don't have a name for all my soups. I just throw stuff together and make a soup out of it, and it works wonderful. Alright, this has been going and sauteing, and it's just wonderful. It's all ready. I'm going to do my broth. Now, I don't have any beef broth, so I'm going to put my water in here. Get that mixed up. That is going to be some wonderful soup. I want just a little more broth in there. Alright. And then I'm going to put I'm going to use a little chicken bouillon in here. It's not like a bouillon, it's a soup starter. It's not quite as salty. It's lower sodium. So, that'll be good. Mix that around. I got it spiced up pretty good. My apron's going to catch on fire. I'm also going to put a bay leaf in there. Nice, beautiful bay leaf in there. And that's it. I'm going to mix this up. I got to turn this up just a hair. I'm going to mix this up, and I'm just going to let it cook till the veggies are done. And just before this is done, I'm going to put my squash in there, my squash veggies that I harvested from my garden. I will put those in there just before it's done because I don't want those real soggy. Okay, friends, this is this is pretty much done. So, I let it simmer for a while. So now I'm going to cut my squash, and I'm going to put that in there. I'm going to do a little bit thicker chunks because that's what's good. Put them all down in there. And in the heat of it, as it's cooling, literally will cook the squash. So it's not going to be mushy. Mix them down in there. That will be delicious. Put the lid on that, and I'm just going to leave that set and cool down, and then I'll show you when it's all done. Okay, friends, this has cooled down enough. And see, the squash is pretty much done. Not completely, but it's not mushy either. And that's what I didn't want. So it turned out really good. Now I'm not going to dish this up because it's like midnight. And now that this is cool, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the fridge, so we can have it for the next few days. But anyway, there you have it. That's how easy it is to whip together some whatever soup. Thanks for watching.